The airstrikes in Gaza and the West Bank continue to attack schools, hospitals, ambulances, and civilians. As previously indicated, a genocide under the watch of the international community cannot be tolerated. Another Holocaust in the history of humankind is not acceptable. And the South African government has decided to withdraw all its diplomats in Tel Aviv for consultation.
The government also threatened action against the Israeli ambassador to South Africa over his recent remarks on the African country's stance on the conflict. Chile, Colombia, Honduras, Bolivia also severed diplomatic ties with Israel.
The war in the Middle East right now is between Israel and Hamas. But the Israeli Air Force are still raining down missiles and bombs upon the civilians in Palestine. In South Africa, the South Africa government, right from the time of Nelson Mandela, has always shown support to Palestinian people. They are always defending them. They are always asking for a two-state solution. But this time around, they have called for the arrest of the Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Not only that, the political group in South Africa called the Economic Freedom Fighter EFF, led by Comrade Julius Malema, has also shown solidarity in support of the Palestinians.
Yeah, to extend the same favor to the children of Palestine. The war in Palestine is not a holy war, it's an evil war. Because even here, the apartheid African regime used to say they are the chosen ones, used to say they are children of God and we are animals. So when the Minister of Defense of Israel calls Palestinians animals, we know what he means because we were called animals ourselves here in South Africa by those who were claiming they were sent by God. There is no holy war there. There is an evil war. And we must always stand against the evil. Comrades, what type of government do we have in Israel that goes and bomb a hospital where people have run away for refugee, where people are sick, where children are there, where pregnant women are there? You bomb a hospital. And you say you are looking for Hamas, but you are killing innocent children. There is nothing wrong Hamas did. This folk tongues and people speaking in parables and we don't know what they are hearing, what they are saying, it's wrong. When you are oppressed, the only option you have is to fight. And that's what Hamas is doing. They are fighting for their freedom. Mandela did the same thing, took up the guns and fought for the freedom of the people of South Africa. When you are oppressed, you only have one option. Confront the enemy and shoot to kill. Do not kiss the enemy. Why do you want to kiss the enemy? People came, took the land of the Palestinians. Every year they extend their occupation. When you look at the map of Palestine, there is nothing left of land in Palestine. The people of Palestine have got nothing to lose but their chains. They must stand up and fight for their freedom, and condemning Hamas is an act of cowardice.
Israel's ambassador to South Africa, Eli Belotsakovsky, says he will always work hard to improve diplomatic relations between the two nations. This is, as you've seen there, the EFF's pickets outside the Israeli embassy in Pretoria. Malema calling for a boycott as well of Israeli products.
The first solution is that we must boycott everything Israel. The embassies of Israel must be removed from all progressive countries so that Israel, through that isolation, it will know that it has now reached a point where it must go and negotiate with the people of Palestine and agree on a permanent solution. The EFF solution is a two-state solution where the two coexist. But we don't want this aggression, that when we say two-state solution, we appear like we're cowards. We appear like we can't do anything to Israel. Israel has to be stopped, so that when an agreement is reached of two-state solution, they are committed to it and they will not continue to expand their territories into Palestinian territory illegally.
Mr. Malema, the reality is, if we really want peace in the world, you even engage your enemies.
Yes.
And taking hardline both sides, it is what has led to where we are. At some point in time, you need a sober leadership that will swallow its pride and its quest for its voice to prevail. For example, when you look currently, you have these superpowers within the Security Council exercising their bully tactics, all of them. And at the end of the day, it is ordinary women, ordinary children who are dying in the world, whether you look at what's happening in relation to conflict on the continent, whether you talk the conflict in between Russia and Ukraine, now Middle East, the long-standing conflict. Leadership at this moment is needed.
Well, Sophie, we are the most sober people. We have been the most reasonable people. The people who are on the Palestine side have always been very reasonable. The arrogance of Netanyahu, the arrogance of the Israeli apartheid government, the arrogance of the Minister of Defense. You can see that these are the people who think that they are superpowers and they are a chosen God as children in a real meaning, because they don't listen to anyone. And it is America, it is NATO, it is UK that encourage that nonsensical attitude of Netanyahu's government. The people of Palestine have suffered for 75 years and they've been cooperative all these years. What did Israel do? Attack them in 2008, attack them in 2012, attack them in 2021, attack them in 2023. They've been consistently attacking them. And when you are being confronted like that, what more option do you have except to fight? I'm saying we are a product of a boycott, an international boycott of sports, of business, which apartheid government suffered. And through that, they talked amongst themselves, the Oppenheimers and them, and said, this apartheid is becoming expensive and is now not going to work. Let's go to the table. It is through when you deal with arrogance, that's what African apartheid was. It was so arrogant and we were so reasonable. They kept on killing children, they kept on killing women, and we had no option but to carry guns and fight for our liberation. And that's what those people are doing in Palestine. They've been very reasonable. He, Netanyahu, must be arrested by the International Criminal Court. He has done worse than what they are accusing Putin of having done. Why is there no warrant of arrest against Netanyahu? So we cannot allow the animal farm story to exist in this world. We are all equal before the law. Why is Netanyahu still roaming the streets free of charge after killing so many children?
Two wrongs don't make it right. On the other hand, as the Palestinians are rightfully talking about their plight, then you have Hamas, who has also resorted to perhaps means that are questionable. Do you condemn the killing of women and children from both sides? I'm talking about the innocent people. I'm not talking about soldiers in the front line.
I'm not going to condemn Hamas for any reason. You don't invite things on yourself and want to go around seeking sympathy with artificial tears. I'm not going to do that. If Israel cared about their women and their children, they will not be what they've been. They will not do what they've been doing to Palestine. What must they do? What options do they have except to put their bodies on the line and say, you can kill us if you want to. We want our freedom. We want to determine our own destination, and therefore I'm not going to sit here comfortably and condemn Hamas for what they've done. What options do they have? We did the same, Sophie, we fought. The aim has always been to target the army bases, to target the institutions and all of that, but there will always be casualties in a war. And it is regrettable in that sense. But
that was a concept.
Well, I'm saying to you, people are fighting for their freedom. They will do anything for their freedom. And that's what they are doing. Unfortunately, the Israeli government doesn't care about the people of Israel. It is the Israeli people who must now rise against their own government and say, look at what you are doing when you go around provoking people and taking people's land illegally. So it can't be a problem of Hamas. It's a problem of a government that is perpetuating inhumanity against the people of Palestine.
And the other issue, the ambassador, when we spoke to the ambassador yesterday, because I've been speaking to both sides to give right to reply as a public broadcaster, he says he's available, he's willing to sit down and talk. If there's an opportunity for you to engage the Israel ambassador to South Africa, will you do that, and what will be your approach?
I'm not going to engage in Israeli ambassador. There's no ambassador. These are criminals. Must vacate our land. They must leave. We'll talk with them from that side of their country, not here. The first thing, which must be an immediate task of the South African government, is to request these people to leave, so that we demonstrate seriousness. And they know by the time we talk to them, they know these ones are serious. They are not clownish. When they take a stand, they take a stand, and now we have to cooperate. But if we're going to talk to the ambassador of Israel, business as usual, he will not listen to us. He's just going to mark register that I made the EFF. So what? We cannot meet murderers. We cannot meet people who are committing genocide against women and children of Palestine. Let them leave our land first, then we can talk after. We have reached a point where we must no longer talk. Let them leave. And let every product of Israel be removed from the shelves in South Africa, so that Israel can start feeling the pain and then come to the table from a genuine point of view.
Thank you for watching. Glad you watched this video to the end. Please kindly share this video, subscribe to this channel to support us, and above all, see you on our next video. Thank you.